There it goes.
Bam! Welcome to Mike Sports. I'm Eric. Joined as always by my co-host Landry. Landry, how you doing tonight?
Oh no, I'm feeling a little glittery.
I know. I see the glitter. I'm figuring that's your gray hair from being an old man now. So.
Hey, not on my teeth. I'm from Texas. Just kidding. All right, back to normal.
All right. Well, obviously a huge week last week. The Eagles finally getting off the schneid. The Cleveland Browns got a win over your Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
And the disaster that is around the Dallas defense.
Hey, and who would think that after all this, the Eagles are somehow still in first place?
Right?
Yeah.
So let's get right into week 5 and the action there. So we're going to start it off on Thursday night. An interesting rematch. Tom Brady versus Nick Foles, Super Bowl 52 rematch at quarterback.
Yeah.
But obviously both on different sides now. Tampa Bay going into Chicago on Thursday Night Football. Who you got?
Man, I gotta admit, dude, I'm really starting to feel Tampa Bay. Like Brady, people. I think they had too much expectations of Brady, so
Sure.
The Buccaneers didn't look as good as they could because I think of the expectations of Brady, and Brady started throwing some picks and stuff like that. Oh, the Bucs are gonna suck. I'm like, with or without Brady, the Bucs are actually a fundamentally good team, and they got a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
And their defense.
I love Bruce Arians. I wanted the Eagles to get Bruce Arians when they got Chip Kelly.
Oh yeah, I would take Bruce Arians over my current coach right now. And Arians did something that other coaches didn't do. Well, I guess only one other coach can be compared. He actually calls Tom Brady out when Tom Brady doesn't play good football. He just calls it out. And I respect that, and I actually think Brady at the end of the day respects it because it makes him up himself. And that's what
sure. And I think maybe the difference between, when that happened in New England and when that happens now in Tampa is he looks at Bruce Arians as somebody who knows enough about offense to know to call him out, whereas Belichick was a defensive guy. And so I think he maybe always looked at that as like, man, I don't know, maybe took that as a slight from Bill Belichick. And also the years grinding on like those two dealing with each other. I think that had something to do with it too.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Bucs, the buck stops with Bruce Arians. I mean, I don't know. But I really think the defense is really something to pay attention to. I think that the defense is going to keep the Bucs in any game I think they're in this year. The Bucs have a real deal. I just think they look like a real football team.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so, with that, I'll take the Bears. No, I'm taking the Bucs.
No, Bears. Yeah, I'm going Bucs by 10.
Yeah. Yeah, the line's -3.5, and I am actually loving Tampa Bay. Might actually put that bet in before tomorrow night.
Okay.
So just a little side note for people wanting to keep track of my bets. I had a huge weekend last weekend.
You're making me tear up. All right.
Although you'll be proud of me when we get to your Cowboys pick. One of my losses on the weekend was your Dallas Cowboys last weekend, but we'll get to that in a few minutes.
I think it was a lot of people's losses. No one saw that one coming. Yeah.
The Arizona Cardinals going into New York to face the Jets.
I'm gonna go Cardinals in that one. And me, I'm usually like knocking the Cardinals and whatnot, but we are talking about the effing Jets. And like I said, unless reruns of Wonder Years is on, I'm never going for the Jets. They are a junk team. I can't stand their owner, Woody. I can't stand that dude. I don't like his philosophy. I don't like the type of guy he is. That team to me is always, they settle for mediocre because that's all they are and that's how they think. And that's how they draft.
So he won't be getting a Christmas card from the Landry household?
Yeah, no, he won't. And I'm sure he's not going to send me one either. So I'm not going to get that Letterman, Wonder Years jacket or anything. So.
That's a shame. Neither will I because I'm going with the Cardinals as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at this as a good get-right game for Arizona. Tough loss this past week. Again, it's funny. I talked about having a big weekend gambling. 2 of my losses, the Dallas Cowboys, the Arizona Cardinals. But
I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a blowout. I'm gonna go Cardinals by 21. I think it's gonna smoke them.
Yeah, I do think this is a spot. Arizona, just too many weapons, and it's supposed to be a nice weekend up in the Meadowlands. So I think Arizona gets the win. So okay, Arizona. Or I'm sorry, we just covered Arizona. Carolina at Atlanta. Carolina was the team that beat the Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta Falcons coming off a loss on Monday night. Actually coming off, you're 0-4.
I think Carolina is better than people are giving them credit for. They're not as bad. And I think a lot of people thought with the loss of Cam, you can't be that good anymore. I'm like, Cam wasn't that good on that team to begin with, in my opinion. He wasn't that, he had his flash in the pan year, and then he was a solid quarterback after that. I thought they needed to move on from Cam for a long time. So I actually think it's done them a service. I don't have a lot of faith in the Falcons right now. I just don't. The Falcons aren't a team that I feel like is a threat. I'm gonna go. I don't see a landslide or anything happen here, but I'm gonna go Falcons lose by 7.
It's funny. I like to look at the lines, and obviously, I'd like to place a few wagers, as I've mentioned on the show a couple times. Yeah. And I like to see what the lines tell me.
What happened to my background? Have you made my Cowboys background disappear with just talking trash about the?
Well, I think that's just the Cowboys defense. I think it's the Cowboys defense fizzling away there. Now it's just like a tiny corner in the screen.
I'm gonna drum up some power. Wait, too much power.
All right, here we go. Now it's a show.
All right.
But I'm actually going to go the other way. Atlanta Falcons are giving a 1.5. Who are the Atlanta Falcons to give anybody a 1.5 in the spread? That says to me Las Vegas knows something. Carolina coming off a win, an upset over Arizona. I think this is a letdown game for Carolina. I think the Atlanta Falcons get their first win of the season.
All right.
Okay.
And now, that's not bias from working at Home Depot and the owner of the Falcons being Home Depot guy, right? No?
Absolutely.
No. Okay.
Yeah, no bias.
I don't want to see you wearing orange to an Atlanta Falcon game.
No, you don't have to worry about that.
You mean you're not going to have the Home Depot Letterman? No?
No, they don't give those out, especially not the slackers like me who do as little as possible. Or
I wouldn't call you a slacker, but I would call you a bandwagon guy with the Falcons, it seems like to me. So what was that? Okay, keep going.
All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars coming into Houston to play the Houston Texans. I know there's been a lot of turmoil. Bill O'Brien, is he fired completely or just as the GM? And we lost Landry.
No, I'm here. I decided to go full Cowboy pitcher.
All right. So what do you think, Houston or Jacksonville?
I'm going to go Houston. I think Houston freaks out and just dominates. I'm going to go Houston.
Has Bill O'Brien been fired or just as the general manager?
No, he's fired. He's gone. He's out of the building. And the report is J.J. Watt and Bill O'Brien had a major throwdown with each other, and that's what led to one part of. Basically, they say J.J. Watt turned the team against the coach.
Wow. I kind of saw something like that coming for a while. Bill O'Brien, it just wasn't working down there, and starting off 0-4, you're not gonna. That's never going to fare well for you. So, yeah, I do think this is the case. And, wow, the Texans are given 6 points. So, obviously, Vegas sees something in that, too. So, yeah, the Texans seem to be the way to go there.
Yeah, no, realistically, I'm gonna go Texans by 7. I think Texans are just gonna this game just gonna have a little more motivation to them. I know that what's his name, the interim coach. I can't remember his name right now. Carmel? No, what am I thinking of?
Romeo Cornell.
There we go. Yeah, he's gonna be the interim coach. He's a good coach. I like him. He's a good guy. Mm-hmm. I think he can take them a little bit through a game like this, and I don't find the opponent like over opposing. We're not playing the Chiefs or something where it's like, right. I don't care who you bring in. So, I think the Texans just have themselves a little field day of, we're losing right now, but not to be forgotten kind of game.
Okay, next up, and I agree with you. I think this is a big win for the Texans. A lot of times when you fire a coach mid-season, usually the next game is like you get a lot of emotion from your team, and I think you're going to get that from this Texans team. I think the Texans get a win. Next up are the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, so when it comes to the Chiefs, right now, I thought the Pats probably had the best opportunity to throw them. And I actually think with Cam Newton, they may have been able to take them on and beat them in that game. But with Brian Hoyer, I mean, I don't know. The Texans, we know all about Brian Hoyer and how that goes. But so, I'm looking at that going, it goes to show that a testament to Belichick, had he had the right quarterback, he certainly can defeat the Chiefs on any given Sunday if he plays the right game against them and all things go in his favor. With that being said, I'm going to go Chiefs because I think other than the Pats, I don't think a lot of other teams are a threat to the Chiefs this season so far.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the Chiefs over the Raiders. It's funny because if you remember when we were picking the games last week, I actually picked the Patriots to beat the Chiefs. And I had actually placed
hey, Jay, I don't care about the Patriots. The Buffalo Bills are going to kill everybody in the world this season.
Obviously.
My shirt is a Cowboy shirt now.
The answer to every game, it's like, Eric, the Chiefs and Raiders, who do you like? The Buffalo Bills, man. It's the Buffalo Bills. It's their world. We're just living in it.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I'll definitely take the Chiefs this week. They're actually favored by 13, and on my sportsbook app, it's not even allowing me to take the money line. Like it's completely grayed out because it's like, nah, you don't get to just choose straight up.
Well, what's the line though?
13.
I see it being more of a spread than that. I mean, for God's sake, they beat the Baltimore Ravens by 20 something.
Yeah, but I mean, it's division matchup. That sometimes can be funny.
All right. So I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll have the Chiefs by 24.
Okay. I think the Chiefs by 10. I think it's a game that like maybe you get a last second score by the Raiders in garbage time that just kind of makes it look a little closer.
I don't know why. I just can't see the Raiders even doing anything to the Chiefs.
I tell you what, the Raiders aren't bad. They're not.
I don't think they're a bad team. I just think the Chiefs are that freaking good right now.
Well, the Chiefs are that good. All right.
And let me say this since we're on the topic. I do not find the Raiders Stadium impressive. I just don't.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to see like everything else around it, and I would like to see that in order to make
when
my
I saw the renderings originally it was supposed to be like 90% glass, like you could see through the outside and everything. Now it just looks like a regular old stadium with some fancy features on it. I don't like the sun on it. It detracts from the techiness. It makes it look dated to me on the top. But SoFi Stadium looks so much better to me. And I honestly thought the Las Vegas Stadium would be the best stadium in the nation. And now I'm looking at it going, what happened? Anyway, so I'll throw that in there. It doesn't look
I hear you. Again, like I want to go on and I want to see the whole thing and like go on one of their virtual tours of it. I want to do that. I want
to know about the experience. I want to go there. Prostitutes, cocaine. I want to experience the stadium for what it is. All right, man. All right. You don't got to mask it. We're all gentlemen here.
Well, yeah. All right. So then let's get back to football then, shall we? Okay. The LA Rams going into Washington to face the football team. And
look, after my team lost to the Browns, now I'm like, well, it's anybody's win now. But no, I'm going to go. First of all, I saw the report come out today. Ron Rivera bench Haskins. He said he needs improvement. So who would be starting if Haskins is being benched?
This sounds like something I should know, but I don't.
Is Alex Smith back in the game?
I thought so, but then I heard that he wasn't the guy that they named.
Yeah, I mean, he might still be on IR, still like getting him in shape and stuff and back in the groove of things. I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, I'm not going with Washington. So
no, definitely going Rams in that one.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Next up is the Eagles Steelers, but we'll talk about them at the end. Dolphins 49ers.
I'm going to go with 49ers. I thought the other night watching the Eagles and the Niners, I did think the Niners were the better team. So that tells me the Niners, even without Garoppolo, are still a very strong team to beat. And especially when Garoppolo gets back in there, Jimmy Pornstar G gets back in the groove of things, I see the Niners resurfacing right back up fast. So, I mean, think about it. They've only lost, I think, 2 games with Garoppolo behind the center. And then the game that they don't have them, they get crushed. There towards the end, the Eagles really threw on a surge on them and beat that butt. I did think had the Niners had more time, I do think they would have driven down the field and likely scored in that game. But, to the Eagles' credit, they kept them to where there wasn't enough time. So, I mean, well, look at it that way. But it did show that the Niners still have that potency to them. They can turn it on with a backup quarterback. So, I want to see a Niners. I don't want to count the Niners out yet because I still think they have the personnel and the coaching, and they're playing a team to me that they can beat without their quarterback due to the personnel and coaching on the other side of the fence. So I'm going to go Niners, not by a landslide. I'm going to go Niners by 10. I think they make a little comeback to make themselves feel better. And I do think Flores is doing a good job down there in Miami. But he's 2 to 3 years off before having a structured team. I think that'll do anything or the flip.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that down there in Miami they realize that there's not a lot of pressure on him to win right away. This is a building process, and I think this is one of those games where, unfortunately, a team that's rebuilding, facing a team coming off a tough loss that in prime time.
We got a comment here from Ryan saying, "What's up with Landry morphing into the Dallas Star?" First of all, I've always been a star, Ryan. So
I think what it is as the Dallas Cowboys defense gives up more points, the Star further takes over his screen.
Yeah. So it would be the opposite. They would fade.
Yeah, but it's like they're getting pushed out of their stadium, so they got to go somewhere. So they're being pushed into.
But I like to go full Star, where you can only see my lips. Let's see if we can do just Landry lips. All right, there we go, dog.
And that picture is still fighting through. That picture is just screen.
I know. I told you. Hold on. Let's do this right there. Keep going.
And see now, but yeah, I think this is a San Francisco win. And maybe during that time the Cowboys get scored on again, further engulfing Landry with the Star.
Yeah, I need you to take me seriously, right? Hey, I could be the talking Star for the rest of the time. But here's the deal.
I think this has to go up on the screen here. The comment from Ryan.
Hey man, I can see my sinus cavities. Look at that. Now that's some X-ray vision we got going on there.
That's the next level stuff right there.
We could do, if Dallas gets so horrible, we could do the talking Star of Dallas and how it feels every week and start a tradition with something like that. Like this would be the new mascot. Like a Conan or Brian thing. All right, who's next team? Who we got?
Next up after that would be Colts and your favorite team, the Cleveland Browns.
Look, I'm going to go Colts. I think the Colts actually look like they can play some football. The Browns, I can't take the Browns seriously. They beat the Cowboys, but to me, my defense is in shambles, so I don't give a shit who beats the Cowboys now. But let me ask you this. Do you think Baker Mayfield's real, man? Or do you think this guy just has these surges and then,
I think he's not consistent at all. And
yeah,
I feel like he's going to be another one of those guys that last 3-4, goes his rookie contract. And at the end of it, the Browns aren't going to be sold on him. They might even end up using the franchise tag on him just because they're not sold and they don't want to give him the long-term deal. Yeah. And then after that, just say, all right, you know what? We got to move on to a different quarterback.
I think he's going to go the way of Mariota. He's just not as good as Mariota, obviously, but I think they're going to treat his contract the same way they did with him. He'll be a backup somewhere when his contract expires. And I think his backupness will only last 2 to 3 years, and then I think he won't be in the league personally.
I mean, still, that's a 6-7 year career, which, hell, it's a healthy career, but when they use the number 1 overall pick on you, you're not supposed to just last 7 years and spend a few as a starter and then a journeyman as a backup. You're supposed to be a solid starter for a decade.
Yeah.
And he's definitely not going to be
Well,
that.
hey, put it this way, at this point, I would take Vince Young, bringing him back in the league over Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Now, he has gained some weight, but in Texas, we supersize everything. We have barbecue everywhere. So you gotta look at that with a grain of salt.
But yeah, I'm also taking the Colts in this one.
What are you thinking about Rivers on the Colts? How you feeling about Rivers?
It's still so weird for me to see him there.
I can't attach to it. I see him.
Does he ride the motorhome from San Diego all the way to Indianapolis every week?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a family guy. Doesn't he have like 7 kids?
Yeah, he has like 10 or 11 kids. He's got like a whole football team worth of kids.
Yeah.
In fact, I think since we went on the air, they had another kid.
I think right now it's coming out of the canal.
Yeah.
All right,
they just like morph out of there and just like cut the umbilical cord and go off to school.
Yeah, they don't even wait for the parents anymore. It's like a conveyor belt.
Yeah, he's got 9 kids.
Yeah, we got our fact checker Ryan over there sitting in the studio checking all the facts for us to make sure we're accurate. The last thing we want is a Trump-Biden non-factual statements being made between Eric and I.
That's right. That's why.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
That's why, Phillip Rivers has thrown 9 billion touchdown passes. You don't even have to fact check it.
Is our number one thing on the show.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Eric has 10 teeth.
Okay. So next up, I'm going Colts as well. We'll save the Cowboys Giants for the end as well. Vikings Seahawks.
Ooh, that's a good matchup. And the Seahawks are on fire right now. I think Seahawks are just running off a wave of momentum. I'm going to go Seahawks. I'm going to go Seahawks by 10.
Yeah, I think that's a good number. I think Seattle definitely covers the 7-point spread. But yeah, I like Seattle a lot.
Yeah.
All right, and that is our Sunday night game. So the Monday night game is the Chargers at the Saints.
Saints. I know people say, well, there is no home field advantage. I've talked to you on the show or earlier in the season, a couple of games. I think anytime you have to travel more than a couple of states over, like to me, that is a wear factor over time on teams and whatnot, especially if you're going coast to coast. I mean, if you're going from west to east, east to west, that's definitely a thing. So I'm going to go Saints. I think the Saints are playing good football. The Saints aren't as good as I thought they were going to be. They've lost some games and did some uncharacteristic stuff that I was surprised to see. But overall, it is the Chargers. So.
Well, I'm going to do you a solid here. We talked about last week, we did the Cowboys game first and then the Eagles game. So this week we'll go Eagles game and then we'll close out with the Cowboys game.
Lucky me. Look at you thinking about the other person in your life.
That's right. It's relationships, it's give and take.
Exactly. Well, depends on who you're talking to, but it's all right.
Well, okay. Let's talk Eagles Steelers. Who you got and why?
Okay, I'm going Steelers. I think the Steelers right now are a solid football team. I don't think they're great, but I think they're solid. They're playing solid football. The Eagles are still they're better to me. They're better than the Cowboys, but they're still suspect to me. I'm seeing things with the Eagles, and I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, there they go. What? I feel like I'm going back and forth when I'm watching them. Like, oh, there's some peak goodness in them. Oh, there's them living up to their potential, and then I watch them fall out on the other end 3 plays later.
Right.
I don't know what we talked about the chemistry last week. I don't know what's going on there between coach or Wentz is psychologically, trying to be something he's not. I was very surprised, and I actually texted this to you during the game that Wentz, I love the guts because I like smash mouth football. But after the injuries that dude's had, I'm like, if I'm a coach, I'm like, stop leading with your freaking head. Slide, damn it.
Yeah, and it's funny. I just think he only knows one way to go.
Hey, I like it. Yeah. It's one of the things I actually appreciate about him in his first year. When he got that leg injury when he jumped in the end zone. Was it leg or back?
Which is
When he jumped in, I was like, hey, man.
I would have thought that would have been the back injury.
Yeah, when I saw that, I liked it. I was like, hey, I like to see a quarterback going for it. But now after he's had, consecutive years of injuries, I'm like, no more. Now you got to start, sticking with the program here. So.
Yeah, I just think I think part of it is like, and part of maybe the reason why some of his struggles is so much of the emphasis early in the season of you've got to stay healthy, got to stay healthy. And I think there comes a certain point in it where Carson says to himself, and I think it happened last year, and I think it's happening this year. Well, gosh, what the hell good is it to stay healthy if I'm not getting the job done? And if you're trying to keep me from being me, then I'm not going to be able to do it. Then I'm not going to be able to do the job. So he's just going to go out there, play loose, play his style, and let the chips fall where they may. And I think that's, there's a difference. Like, don't be reckless, but don't take away from who you are. And I think he's still, even in year 5, figuring out that balance.
And I personally believe, I think he has some psychology going on there with trying to live up to the Nick Foles and that Eagles team that went all the way and dominated. And I think he feels pressured inside to live up to the expectation of making them do it again. Of course, every quarterback has it on their shoulder to go to the Super Bowl and win. But I think there's a bar that's been set there before he was the quarterback all the way through. And it was on the thing he was on. I think that's what affects him.
Sure. Talk to any quarterback who follows a quarterback who won a championship.
Yeah. Like it's not like Dak. Romo won a Super Bowl and then retired. Now Dak is like, are you going to do it too? No, it's like Romo didn't get it. We hope you get it too. We hope you get it.
Right.
Whereas with Wentz, it's kind of like, look, Foles did it and you're better than him. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to do it. I think that weighs on him heavily.
Absolutely. I think there's something to that. Absolutely. And I think it's kind of silly for people to, like, a lot of people try to brush that off because in this area, in the Philadelphia area, there is a strong pro-Wentz camp and a strong anti-Wentz camp. Yeah. That is, and the anti-Wentz camp being what we call the Folesian Society. And and like those guys who just, anytime Carson throws for 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they're up 35-0. And in the fourth quarter, throws an incomplete pass where he throws behind a guy. See, Foles wouldn't have missed that pass. See,
Foles. Hey, we have a very similar problem in Dallas. Dak Prescott throws for 480-something yards in the last game.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns, whatever, but loses the game. Oh, when you get rid of Dak, he's still not our quarterback. I mean,
that's just silly to me. It's your defense.
Well, we get that.
Yeah. But we'll get into that in just a second. I do think I think this is an Eagles win, a very tight Eagles win. They've gotten to, like, not that I necessarily believe because they only play each other once every 4 years, that the previous matchups carry over very often. The last time the Eagles played the Steelers was Carson's rookie year, and the Eagles whooped up on them pretty good, 30-3.
If I had to predict right now what kind of matchup we're looking at the end of the season, right now, of course, it always changes. Like mid-season, we see someone start flying off the shelf with wins or something. But if I had to pick it right now, to me, we're looking at a Saints Seahawks battle for the NFC Championship. If I had to call it right now, I see the Saints knocking off probably the Eagles before that game. Cowboys. Right now, I'm like, no, I don't even see this wild card in it now with that defense. Wrong coach, wrong defense. Not head coach, wrong defensive coach.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. McCarthy's a good coach, but the defensive side needs a lot of work. I think that's maybe the biggest mystery that's been solved in Dallas so far. Like what the biggest issue is going to be, it's clearly the defense in Dallas.
Well, yeah, and I think what happened to the Cowboys, and all of us were kind of wondering this, but we've relied on Sean Lee for too long, back and forth with injuries. Vanders was new, so we had this feeling of, we got a fresh, really good kid. I'm like, yeah, but it's still not a complete defense. Our secondary sucks. Like our defensive line's decent, our linebackers are okay, but our free safeties, strong safeties, and corners are just garbage to me. And to me, I don't know why. And of all people, me saying this because I hate the Sea Punks. But go get Lockett. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, go get him. Go get him. That dude he's a hound. He will get on that field and he will hunt. I was like, get him on the field, get a leader, get a presence in that backfield that those guys can look up to. To me, the Cowboys have been so offensive centric and excited about their offense that they have neglected the backfield and the middle field of the defense. It's just been neglected because it's turned into an offensive game that all this focus went into getting that Zeke, getting that Dak contract, even though it didn't happen, but trying to fight for that.
Right.
Cooper. Oh, we got another receiver now. Man, we got a good tight end. It's like they just completely forgot. Dude, we're not even building our defense anymore. We're plugging in people, which is a losing strategy for a defense. You know what I mean? Like, name me the last time, and I mean like legit, that the Cowboys can name when they had a fucking defensive end that was a sack machine. I don't mean a guy that was good. And the only guy I can think of is DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, that was going to be my answer.
I can recall that was a decent, consistent guy, and he's not even the best one. That if you go back in time, but he's the last one to be consistent. And the Cowboys, to me, if they do not fix their defense, like in the next 2 to 3 games, I think the Cowboys don't even make the playoffs or don't even have a shot at a wild card, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean. Well, that's the thing. Like, I kind of think the NFC East is looking at a scenario where they're only going to send one team. And, yeah, right now, I don't care what anybody says about Washington. This is between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Which team's going to win the division? It's going to come down to those 2 matchups.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the Giants and Washington are just I don't see them competing for it at all. Our teams are more likely to go 8-8. 7-9. The Giants and the Washington football teams are going to be in like the 3 and 4 win column to me at the end of the season. Yeah. So I don't see them doing it at all. I think either one of us, if we play each other, it could be in any given Sunday moment where we just match up well and we play a good game. But whoever we play after in current stage is going to wipe the floor with either one of us.
Yeah. Once we get to the playoffs, I'm thinking whoever wins the NFC East is going to be that like last division champion. They'll be the 4th seed in the playoffs. They'll have to play a wild card team that, that was good enough to win a division, and they're going to come in here and beat the brakes off either Philly or Dallas.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking at this going. I mean, we like I said. I think I said it the last time we were talking. I'm like, we are the AFC South right now. That's what we look like.
Yeah,
we just look like it doesn't matter who's good or what happens. Whatever team comes out of it's getting crushed. First team they play.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, hey, like we'll be excited with our own division, like birthday party, ice cream, cake, streamers, bring it. After that, doom, gloom, fire, earth on, scorched earth, dude. Birthday party, Corona style. I'm gonna have to have a car parade. Don't want that on my birthday anymore. Yeah, so
we're gonna have to have a drive-by viewing afterwards.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, and I guess, you're definitely taking the Cowboys over the Giants in the 4:00 window on Sunday.
Yeah, and I don't even think it'll be a good smoke 'em. I think we'll win by like 10. I don't think it's we're so much better than them. I think the Cowboys right now have a confidence problem defensively, and I'm tired of the Cowboys. The Cowboys are playing what I call a Romo game. The problem with the Romo team and Witten and all those guys when the chips were down. All of a sudden, they could play damn good football. And half the time, Romo was the comeback king. Monday, I can't tell you how many Sunday night football games Romo won in the last 1 minute of the 4th quarter. I mean, Romo was a comeback king. Unfortunately, I'm feeling that psychology setting back in with this team. We don't come out swinging. We only swing after we're down a lot, So.
Yeah, well, and I'm with you. I think Dallas wins this game. Again, kind of going to be an ugly game. I do think it's going to be a get-right game for the Dallas defense because the Giants minus Saquon, I still don't see a whole lot there. I don't think Daniel Jones is the answer for the Giants. And so this could be a game where your defense can get some confidence going. I definitely think that this is a big Cowboy win on Sunday. Look, I think this is going to be probably a rare weekend where both the Eagles and Cowboys fans are going to be very excited because I think the Eagles are going to win. But let's not talk about next week against Baltimore. I don't want to talk about that yet. No. In fact, I may not want to talk about that next week or the week after that.
Yeah, on the show, when it gets that segment, just have that like fuzzy screen come up. Like,
yes.
When we were young and there was no 300 channels, it basically just went off the air at 12 o'clock. Or it was just the American anthem,
right?
The
national anthem. And then I'll just play. It's like, all right, time to talk about the Eagles-Ravens game. I'll just play the national anthem.
Yeah, I was talking about that the other day. I go, it's funny. In our generation, you were expected to be in bed by that point, not still watching TV. TV was over.
Yeah.
Officially,
it's no. They're like, well, what did you watch at 3 a.m? Dude, there was no 3 in the morning.
The only option you had is to get that VHS where you recorded like 9 movies on and just forward to whatever one you want to watch. Otherwise, go to bed.
You kidding? I didn't know there was a 3A until I was 25. People want to talk. Yeah.
I didn't know there was a 3 until I was 30. Until there was a 3, I didn't even know the clock said 3. When I'm 40, I can't read a clock anymore. So
that was a hell of a 10 years. Well, everybody, hopefully everyone's staying safe. The big news in Pennsylvania this week, I don't know if you've heard, that both Pennsylvania teams have been okayed by the governor to let 10% or 15% of their fans in the stadiums. So the Pittsburgh Steelers will have a roughly, I think it's 5,600 or so fans in attendance this Sunday. For Eagles Steelers, still getting word on whether or not the Philadelphia Mayor Kinney is going to let us have Philadelphia Eagles fans in attendance. And,
what kind of capacity you guys looking at?
We'd be looking at about 7,000 fans.
Because right down here, 20 to 25% seems to be like what stadiums are doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ours is at 15, so we'd be at like 7,500 or so fans.
Because how big is your stadium? 75,000, 68,000?
Yes, 67,000.
Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully, if we've all been good boys and girls, our mayor will let us into our stadium. Will let us buy seats to our stadiums, but no sarcasm there at all. Yeah. But hopefully this will all be over soon. Don't want to get all political like they have with the pandemic, but
hey, in 30 days it's all over.
Thank God.
Wow. There'll be lawsuits about who really won in ballot, but the election will have happened.
The election itself.
Yeah, we'll be able to go to war instead of just talking. There'll actually be war in the streets, which I'm cool with.
Yes.
All this talking and jabbering and bringing up facts
that's
and
cool
Ryan coming in saying 9 children, trying to be a Democratic moderator, all this shit like that. That'll all be over.
Well, when it gets to the warring part, remember we're on the side with guns, so that should be good for us.
Hey, well, okay, all right.
But no, seriously, everybody stay safe. Keep wearing your mask, social distance. Because for God's sakes, you want to start getting back to normal at some point. I know like it's been a while. You may not remember what normal was, when we could walk into a store without a mask, when we could be bunched up with somebody, you could actually smell some dude hadn't showered in 3 days. Like I think I'm actually bringing out some of the negatives, and people are probably like, no, let's stick with the social distancing program. Kind of like how that's going.
Yeah, you lost me on deodorant, man.
All right, but everybody, in all seriousness, enjoy this weekend games and, root for your teams. Make sure to root for mine. Peace. Have a good night. Bam. Let's get back in screen.